and welcome to Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales. I think I have my intro. Oh, here's our intro. Weird Realities Network presents Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales, where we pull up a log, roast a marshmallow, and settle in as these two blondes talk spooky tales, urban legends, and classic horror icons. Exciting guests, perky blondes, and sinister tales makes this podcast as good as a double stack s'more. So let's join Bethany and Krystal as they gather around the campfire in Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales.
Hi, everybody. As we're wont to do, we had some technical difficulties today. It happens, but we're here. Happy October! It's spooky season. Yes! I've got my Halloween earrings because what other earrings would you wear in October?
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you on that. What earrings are you wearing?
Today it's sparkly ghosts, and they dance a little bit.
Aww. They're all happy ghosts.
They are happy ghosts.
I like how Mike is like, where is everybody? So, okay, apparently on days that I get ahead, like an hour ahead, and I get the broadcast all set up, it's just fine. I have no issues. And like the days that I have 2 minutes until broadcast and I'm like jumping on here real quick, all the technical difficulties I can possibly have and I have to restart computer, everything. So I'm very, very sorry, Mike. I tried to get on here earlier, but it's fall break and I have kids today and I'm not used to having kids on these days. So that's my bad. I'm very, very sorry.
Things happen. It's life.
Yeah. Londa says hi. Hi, Londa. So I'm going to real quick. I have to send the link to my parents because they can't find the link and I'm trying to figure out how to send it. I'm going to do that real quick. And Krystal's going to distract everyone and talk.
So we're not talking about Hitler or the bunker today. Our background's a little bit off. We're going to talk about, I don't know if it's everybody's favorite cryptid, but it's definitely one of mine. We're going to talk about the Chupacabra, which researching this, I didn't believe the research, honestly. Thanks, Londa. Because they're like, it's only been called the Chupacabra since like the 90s. And I was like, I don't believe that because I don't remember a time that I've ever not known about the Chupacabra. I've known about it like my entire life. And they're like, oh yeah, it was named in the 90s. And I'm like, are you people sure? Are you really sure?
That was, Axel sent me something today and he was like, yeah, the Chupacabra was created in Puerto Rico. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it says Mexican goat sucker, but whatever. And then he reads me this thing and it's like, yeah, Puerto Rico in 1995. And I'm like, but hold up. I thought X-Files had an episode on it in the early 90s.
They did.
Yeah.
I think the X-Files episode might have been 96 or 97 though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure.
Mike says he's not hearing any video. I don't know why you're not hearing video. Let me type it in here. You're not hearing video. That's not anything on our end. Everything on our end is kind of is up. Oh, Londa hears us. Okay.
That's weird.
Maybe check settings. My bad. He's all, come on.
Yeah, I don't hold on. I was looking at the X-Files episode a minute ago.
Okay.
What year it was.
And we have I'm gonna get this name wrong.
That's Lucien. Hi, Luz.
Is that one of your peeps?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Bethany.
I don't know what year what year the X-Files episode was, but X-Files did an episode on it. And there's been so the whole Puerto Rico thing, I think apparently that's where the term Chupacabra was coined, but there's been for years, for at least since the 70s, there has been, they called it the vampire of Macau.
Yeah.
The vampire of Mocha.
I'd like a vampire mochaccino.
So that was the story that was coming more from like Latin America, which would be the ones that would probably leak out into like Arizona and Texas as well. And it was, they were finding their farm animals exsanguinated. But supposedly, and it's pretty much the same tales of the Chupacabra, but the Chupacabra does look different if you're looking at Puerto Rico, more to Latin America and the southern US. So I think it's from that general region, and I think it's very likely that it was going back and forth between the mainland and the islands, but it's just what it was called. But I still could swear as a little kid I knew about the Chupacabra and that's what we called it. So it's so weird to me that they're like, oh no, that term wasn't coined until 1995. I'm like, are you sure? I think all of you are Mandela affected and I'm correct. Is that a Chupacabra now in the background?
So it's from my cat's eating my food. It's from I think it's the Netflix show called Chupra.
Oh, isn't that a kid's show?
It is a kid's show, but you know what? It was the only picture I could find that you could kind of see something in like the 5 minutes I was searching while you were talking. So,
there. Do you want to know what? The
That's
coolest picture I think I found of the Chupacabra is in my book.
Ooh, I gotta look and see if I have. Oh, it's Ricky.
Hello.
Hi, Ricky.
Hi.
This is my picture of the Chupacabra. I was just showing everybody if you want to see.
Sweet.
As I literally was about to say, I need to find my picture of the Chupacabra that Ricky drew for me for my book for the Chupacabra.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that Chupacabra. In the meantime, we have little Chupi from Netflix.
I love that the Chupacabra has become like a kid's show now.
It has. Well,
I suck the blood out of goats, but I'm totally kid friendly.
It was actually featured on a TV series. It might have been a Netflix TV series fairly recently as well, where each person kind of had their own special powers, and one of them was Chupacabra, and he was also named Chupi in a cutesy way by the others. Yeah. In fact, I kind of think. I'm sorry.
I said that's cute.
Yeah.
I like
it. It's awkward, quite.
They treated it much like a lycanthropy in that particular version.
Gotcha. We were just talking about how we thought the Chupacabra had been around for a long time, but like documented history, it just came out in like the early 90s.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
We were baffled by this.
Like, I'm completely baffled. I'm like, no, I've known about the goat sucker my entire life.
Yeah.
I think it kind of has the Mandela effect. We're probably thinking of the not Coachella, the Cocopelli, or because they had that design, and often that's used in High Halo, and that had been used in the past where people were linking that to Chupacabra.
Gotcha.
And so that might be why we thought it was a long time, and it only has been recent.
Yeah, that's why we're kind of like,
I could kind of see that, because the Puerto Rican description of the Chupacabra does, when you think about it, it is kind of similar to a Cocopelli.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there's also like the Texas and like Arizona version is more of like a dog with elephant type skin.
Mm-hmm.
That one, and so it's interesting. But I could see the Cocopelli would kind of look like the Puerto Rican version.
Yeah. I like how all of them reference it as eventually standing up too, which kind of goes back to where Ricky was talking about with the
Lycanthropy?
Yes, that that long word that I cannot pronounce. I can spell it. I can't pronounce it.
It's a weird word.
I did a quick lookup of Chupacabra on the way here. I was driving here.
Oh, gosh.
And
no cops.
No, I was following the cop. They were clearing the way for me.
Gosh. Okay.
But the particular story that I looked at, the person who described it had described Chupacabra as, this was like the first report, and she described, standing up, had kind of lizard-like appearance, but then spines and stuff. And later on, they found out that she had just recently watched Species, and I'm like, no, that can't be right, because that's when I found out that they're saying that the first documented version was that. I'm like, no way. So.
Yeah, I think that was like the first time it really got media attention. I think people were like, whether or not it was actually called the Chupacabra at that point, people were aware of it, at least in certain areas like Latin America and Puerto Rico. And they were aware of this creature and the things that were happening, and there were still stories about it. But then with her story, like a local radio DJ picked up on it, and then some tabloids picked up on it, and then other newspapers picked up on it. So I think that's when it became like more widely known throughout like different parts of North America and also then the world. Like I think that's really when it started to spread more. But I think it was still a story and still a phenomenon that was being talked about at that time.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. And I do think like some of my research like does kind of support that. Doesn't support it always being called the Chupacabra, which I think other people are wrong about that. But I guess since documentation says they're right, we'll go with that.
To expand on that, then, the idea of, essence stealers, vampiric, whether it's through blood or what other, essence or something. And Chupacabra basically would fall into that category because they're, goat sucker. They were, sucking out the blood from goats and cattle and stuff. It's part of their lore. So, I mean, I don't know if there's a classification of that. Vampirism, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. No, it's definitely like I think this was like right before you got on. In like Latin America, it was being called until like in the 70s, it was the vampire of Mocha. So they did refer to it as a vampire because, farmers were finding their livestock drained of blood. What does that? A vampire does. So maybe it is just a vampire like dog. Maybe a vampire infected a dog somehow. And
you vampires
don't take it very well. So only a few survive the turn.
The turn. I mean, it's almost like a vampire familiar.
Maybe, yeah. Like, but they don't like human blood because they're animals.
Well, it's like Renfield. Renfield with Dracula. He had like all the bugs and stuff is what he ate because he craved life.
Yeah. Essence stuff.
I'm gonna turn the screen just a little bit because I have to go turn on a light, and I'm wearing really short shorts, and it's not that kind of show. So
I just emailed you the picture.
Family show.
Oh, you emailed the picture?
Yeah, just now. So
okay, cool. Because I had to go look at my. Yeah, I was trying to find stuff. Yeah, let me turn on a light, and then I'll go look for the picture.
Well, look, Chupacabra. No.
I am in Arizona.
You never know when they might show up. Just because it's reported only out in the country doesn't mean it's not happening in the city too.
Right? Oh man, I can just see that being very similar to the whole Dungeons and Dragons type thing where they have kobolds and such, which would be very Chupacabra like, a little rodent-esque, whether it's a dog or rodent in this case. But if they're in packs. Oh, that's the thing too. Chupacabra you only see as a lone critter.
Yeah. Like you don't really hear about like a pack of them coming and taking out the whole herd of cows.
So if you think of the idea of Chupacabra being from a coyote with mange or scabies, which is the other often, I mean, coyotes are a little bit more lone than wolves are, but wolves are in packs, and whenever there's a lone wolf, that's because there's something wrong with them, and they're going to die. So they're cast out. So I don't know, a chupacabra being a lone coyote that's got mange and scabies probably has been cast out, and they're nutrient deficient. They could be, sucking on the life essence of whatever they come across, cattle or whatever's easy, and I don't know, more of a scientific version of that, but that's how I go with my writing. So.
Well, I mean, and that's definitely something that's been thought a lot. Like, is it just like a dog or a coyote with mange? But the thing about that is, like, it's always like there's just, there's when you hear the description of how the animal was found, it has some holes in it, like 2 to 3 holes, like usually around the chest, unless it's and like they just don't have any blood. And I'm like, mange to me doesn't explain why the blood's gone.
Right.
And why they didn't just take a bite out of them. Because, yeah. And then one theory that I saw was that, which does kind of go with like the whole like predator looking one, is that it was like some alien, like extraterrestrial, like predator that was accidentally left behind, and then they started breeding, and that's why they look so much. And this goes more with like the dog and coyote one, and that's why they look so much like them, is because they're similar. Was that your cat?
Yes.
Meow, it threw me off.
Sorry.
But that's so, and I'm like, I could kind of see that, maybe it's just like an alien species, and that's why it's not in packs, is because it was left behind. But if they're still breeding, like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know.
No, that is cool. And I actually was thinking of the idea of what if Chupacabra were aliens, because you've got cattle mutilations and stuff, and, and that's a common trope between them. Plus, Arizona, New Mexico, Puerto Rico's off to the side a lot, but, you've got Roswell, New Mexico, and, all sorts of alien activity is attributed to those areas.
Mm-hmm.
You don't normally see a lot of aliens around Puerto Rico, though.
Yeah.
They've got enough stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
they don't need aliens mixed up in there.
Like, one theory that I heard about like the Puerto Rico is the monkeys that are there, because there's so many monkeys. I forget what species, I apologize, but there's so many monkeys in Puerto Rico, but they're not native to Puerto Rico. They were brought there in the 1930s for testing, and people are like, well, so now there's this whole like colony of these monkeys that live in Puerto Rico because some of them escaped the testing labs. And they're like, but you don't know what they were doing to those animals. So maybe they turned the monkeys into vampires. I'm just going with vampires because that's what they do. Chupacabra is blood.
I'll have to ask Axel when he comes in about monkeys in Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. And she's definitely a bush dweller.
A 400-year-old coyote.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the coyote that's found the answer to eternal life.
Right.
Hangs out with
and that's, you have to let go of the roadrunner.
Yeah.
It's no
more
longer
roadrunners.
No more roadrunners.
Well, that's how. Yeah, that is the secret of life. The the blood sucking.
Yeah. Right. I mean, that is like when you look at vampires, that's how they get their eternal life, is by sucking blood. So
was it Aztecs, Mayans? One of the two was more into that whole idea where they would, skin people and wear them, and that was to preserve their skin, their own skin. So
I'm like, that's kind of what Elizabeth Bathory did.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't wear skin, but bathing in blood, wearing skin.
You are positively glowing. What is your secret, children?
Oh, positive.
Sorry, that got super dark.
Yeah, we lost Krystal.
I'm okay. I'm fine. Anyway, we could do a whole other episode on Elizabeth Bathory and the Aztecs and the Mayans.
There you go. There you go.
But
did you guys watch anything recently with the Chupacabra at all?
Yes, I watched an episode of that show on the History Channel, Monsters or something like that. But it's like almost a fake documentary. Like they do throw like some real stuff in there. But I think that's the same show that I watched once that was talking about like the discovery of mermaid skeletons.
I love it.
But they did have some like real stuff in there that I saw, like that I found. They were talking about the Chupacabra that was found in Cuero, Texas, by a lady. I think her last name is Canine, but not spelled like a dog, just pronounced like it. And it was like 2004, and she cut the head off of it and froze it. So they were literally showing like it's the dog version of the Chupacabra, which there's multiple pictures out there, and I'm like, I mean, maybe it's another animal, maybe it is, but it's so they were just like playing with this frozen head of this Chupacabra looking creature. And they were like, we're just going to take a sample of its meat and test it.
Take a sample of the meat.
They were literally playing with the meat, and I was like, oh, this is not what I was expecting.
Oh, goodness.
Chupacabra chorizo. The Imperfects was the name of that Netflix series I was talking about.
Okay.
And that was the case.
Okay. I'll have to look into that one. That sounds fun.
I'm going to try something real quick.
I see that you have it in the background.
Yes. I'm trying to
pause.
Oh, gosh. This thing is so difficult.
Had you actually published that story?
No.
Okay. Because when you had me draw this, there was a really cool aspect of it that I found super interesting. I don't know if you want me to reveal that or not.
Yeah, go right ahead. You keep talking about that, and I will see if I can figure this out.
And she'll keep playing with technology.
Right.
I honestly don't think I've paid too much attention. I'm so sorry. I've been trying to get this pulled up.
No problem. I totally get that. If I can only be like one thing. Oh, there you go. That kind of.
Oh, that's cool.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
I mean, we can still see it.
Yeah.
There's Ricky's drawing of my Chupacabra for Devil Dog Mine, which is going to be a Gabby Jones story.
Nice. I like it.
I'm pretty sure Ricky drew this like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was. So what was really cool, what I found very interesting about it was how you had the proboscis of the tongue as, the actual siphon, and how, it was set up with the whole, the claws or the talons that were on the tongue itself, which helped to, describe why, there was only like 3 holes or whatever, was described for it. And it wasn't the same as a bite and stuff. And so I had to look, I'm looking at all sorts of just different source material because, well, nature is often more weird than what our own minds can think of in many cases. And I believe it was a star mole that I found that was very similar to that. It has, its nose is like that. And it can actually go underwater, and it holds air through, the way those little fingers are on its nose. And and so it smells out its prey underwater as a result.
Like a shark.
Yeah. But in this particular case, I showed you, it's like, okay, well, here's this. And you're like, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we shove that on there. But then your spines, I can't really see that one. I don't remember if we made the spines hard or if they were like more tentacle-y.
Let me get it back up here for you.
They looked more like, I don't know if that's tentacle-y, but they don't look hard to me.
Yeah, I was thinking something similar to like a hyena, and how the or the razorback, warthog type. So I mean, in the desert, there's a lot of stuff that's basically there to kill you.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of seemed like this was very desert-ish.
Yeah, but we do have very pretty sunsets, so that makes up for it. That little thing for smelling is that. Can you guys see my mouse right there? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Okay, because when I first saw this, I thought of Blade 2. and oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with the show too. The vampire show.
The only vampire show that's ever existed.
What they do in the shadows?
No.
True Blood?
No. The one where the Strain. The Strain.
Oh, I never saw that one.
It's by the same person who did Blade 2, and that's on his tongue right there. That's how they suck blood. Like their whole jaw kind of comes apart, and their tongue shoots out, and it's got this little sucker attachment. So that's what I originally thought.
That makes me feel like my tongue doesn't do enough things. Like my tongue can't suck blood out of people or animals.
Okay, so just because I've been sharing screen, I haven't been looking at the comments. I'm back now. Londa's like, there's a tortilla chip brand called Chupacabra chips.
Nice. I believe it.
Rachel has joined us from YouTube, and she goes, that's going to be one very squishy soccer ball.
Hi, Rachel. She's a friend of mine.
Oh, nice.
Squishy soccer balls.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool though. Kind of during your research, kind of finding out that stuff. I didn't know about that when you sent that to me.
Yeah, I didn't know the tongue thing at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Krystal's very jealous now, apparently, of tongue stuff.
I mean,
talented tongues.
Yeah, I mean, all my tongue can do is this. That's it.
You can do that. I can do that. Ooh, I can belly dance. Oh,
I can do that too.
Well, I'm, as you know, I'm one of the lizard people, and I've been out for a while on that. So.
Rick, mom and dad are watching us. They're like, we're so proud of our children right now.
Right.
They can play with their tongues.
Exactly. Mike says that Brooke Shields could tie a cherry stem in a knot with her tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've tried that a few times, and I can't. I haven't wrapped a starburst with my tongue.
We've actually tried doing that. Dad, Tom, and I had tried doing that. I remember a long time ago.
Olive, you're being so indecent. Okay.
Oh, well, there you go, Londa.
She really has no shame.
I was waiting when to post that comment, and you just gave me the perfect opening.
I just noticed her, and I'm like, just show it off to the world.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Haha. Let's see y'all.
And now the whole world can see you, Olive. With your face just buried down in there.
I like grabbing the paw and just messing with them that way. I think it's so indignant.
Lana says she's living her best life.
She's like, I'll show you what I can do with my tongue.
Mike's over here like, why do I watch you guys?
For the cats.
Oh, that's why.
It is. I think that's the only reason people watch us is because they like to see if our cats are going to make a showing.
Pretty much. I feel like our cats are it's not even Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales. It's like whose
Kitty
cats
tails.
are involved in the show.
Yeah.
Wanda's like, oh my god.
Speaking of, Indy hasn't made an appearance yet.
Because he started to, and I pushed him off. Okay, so get this. I got a new toy for Indy and Sherlock. All right, I have something in my eye. Hold on. I got this toy. I can show you. Hold on. It's this. Okay.
Be careful, you're wearing booty shorts.
I know, but I was gonna say I'm just bending over, but so like, here's the deal. Indy is incredibly smart, like the smartest cat I've ever had, and it's scary smart, right? Sherlock is just a happy cat who loves to eat. And so I used to get them stuff to entertain them, to like keep them I don't know, bored, not bored. Yeah. And I got this treat box. And so Indy used to go right up to the treat box, and you have to like go through these holes, and he would just like flick all the treats out, and Sherlock would eat them. And I'm like, that defeated the purpose. So I had to find enrichment toys. That's what it was, enrichment toys. So I wanted something that did not make a lot of noise, because they were going to play with it at nighttime. So I didn't want a bell like running around. I didn't want treats, because poor Sherlock takes after me, and he's like a little chubby chub. So he can't have any more treats, right? So I found this thing. It's one of those little balls that like goes around, but it's light. It's light activated. Like, or I'm sorry, it's light and it's motion activated. And this thing is like in there, right? Like you can't, it's hard to get that ball out. And so I was like, sweet, I figured it out. Like I cracked the code, and I got the thing and I set it out there, and Sherlock's like going crazy over it. And I'm like, yes, sweet. Okay. Indy walks up to it. I'm like, here's the final test, because he's the one who pisses me off the most. So he gets on there. He like bats it a couple times. It goes around, and then he bats it in such a way that the ball comes out of the thing and hits Sherlock in the head. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
So he's still back up. What?
That is planning.
Yes. I'm like, this cat. But now it's like even now he's over here with the toy. So now it's like his favorite toy. I don't know if it was just like a fluke on that he got it out at that time, and it just happened to hit Sherlock because he was right there. But he likes the toy now. So hopefully he will not be making catastrophic appearances. And just nice hellos.
The best toy I ever found for my cats was, you know, the little like holiday lights that it's just like the little machine, and it like shoots the light out, and it'll be a moving light.
Oh, that's cool.
And I have like a Halloween one that's like spooky eyes, and they love chasing those eyes, like if they're on the wall.
That's pretty cool.
Wow. And they can't break anything as well, as long as it's not going anywhere near anything that can be broken. Like, don't put it on your TV.
Halo will sit right here and watch me game.
Nice. Oh, but see here, let me see.
This has just become like cat TV now.
I know.
Right?
Can you guys see? Look, there's Indy.
We don't see Indy, but we see the toy.
Yeah, we saw the toy.
Well, he's a black void.
I think I saw a black paw for a second.
Yeah. One time I couldn't find him, and he was literally sitting in front of the TV, and I didn't see him till he opened his eyes. I was like, son of a.
Yeah. Sounds about right. There were definitely multiple times, like with Jack, that I was like, I didn't see him because he was sitting somewhere black, and I just like walked into him, and I was like, oh sorry.
Gosh. So Mike.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Ricky already knows.
Did you guys used to do that with your journal?
Yes. I had hamsters, and they were not happy lives with those hamsters, because I think it was Tom mostly. He would take the hamster and like in the ball and spin it.
Yeah.
The hamster's all right. And then at one point, I think Snowball, he knocked my hamster Swift down the stairs in the ball. So poor Swift is all ka-cha, 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 ka-cha.
Those hamsters didn't need chupacabras around. They were already in danger.
Yeah, no. Okay, let's go through all the cat comments, and then we can get through back She forgot. Wanda says my cat only liked a piece of elastic from some stirrup pants I had.
Oh my gosh, stirrup pants.
Yes. And by the way, bread twisty ties are a cat favorite in our household.
Mm.
Let's see. Rachel says my cat Ace takes his water fountain apart. I have to put vice grips on it to keep it. Wow.
Yeah.
My cat's an engineer. Krystal's dying right now.
Because it's hilarious.
That cat isn't. He was like, I can get this more filtered.
This isn't Brita.
Okay, Londa, she says, I had ferrets and they make those balls for them too. They're dangerous. Yes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
Balls for the
Londa,
ferrets?
I had ferrets also. I had Doc, Daisy, May, and Wyatt. But I never used the ball for them because they were always kind of, I guess it would be a bigger ball.
It would have to be. I always just liked watching ferrets run around because they do their like bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah. I liked them. They loved to jump like down my shirt, but they would just like nestle in there and they were happy. They were little happy ferrets.
We are losing your fruit of the looms there.
Wanda goes, mine was Menard, Loki, and Kaio. I don't know if I said those right.
Oh my gosh.
Maynard.
Maynard? Is that what it is?
You might
Ferrets
be correct.
are awesome.
Maybe it's Menard. I think Maynard has a Y in it.
Yeah, that sounds right. I don't know. Wanda, you'll
I
have to
have
let
no
us
opinion
know.
on that.
Ferrets are really good animals.
Yeah.
Mike says, my niece Spicer cat toys. They leave them alone and steal her objects around the house to play with.
Yep.
Plug rubber bands, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, my cats have always stolen my hair ties.
13 couldn't spell. Girl, I'm 40. I can't spell.
Yeah, I'm like, who says spelling gets better with age?
No. We just learned how to work like word check more.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I swear, spell check makes my spelling, like my actual spelling, worse.
Yes.
Because especially when it like autocorrects things, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Or when even you spell something so wrong that autocorrect is like, I give up on you. That's my life.
I know. I just like, I don't even pay attention to how I spell things anymore because I'm like, spell check will fix it. And then sometimes spell check's like, I don't know what this word is. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. At this point, you don't even know what this word is.
Yeah.
No,
But then, like, what I don't like is autocorrect in text because it'll autocorrect weird words. The other day, I don't even remember what the word was, but it autocorrected it to Katarina. And I'm just like, what?
I hate when the text is correct initially and then it autocorrects to something totally different.
Yeah.
I'm like, you had it right the first time.
At all.
The favorite thing that my phone likes to do to me is change the word not into knit. And I'm like, I'm never saying knit. Never. Just like NIT.
Right.
I'm never saying that. Why would I say that? That's not what I'm trying to say. I typed not, it was correct, and you changed it.
Mm-hmm. I like
Now
how
I've got
Londa
Fraggle
named
Rock
her
on my
hair
head.
after Fraggle Rock.
Yes.
So now I've got the theme song running through my
Exactly.
Same. Down Fraggle Rock.
head. Do what deuces are gonna
Don't
do.
tell me how to be.
Love Fraggle Rock. I think that was a great name inspiration because Fraggle Rock is the best.
It was a really cool show. Okay, so Chupacabra.
Is there Chupacabra on Fraggle Rock?
We'd have to ask Uncle Traveling Matt.
What?
Uncle Traveling Matt from Fraggle Rock. He would go out and
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
That's why Londa loves those.
we stay on topic all the time. Yes.
Exactly.
Always on topic. I think maybe the Fraggles were Chupacabras, and we just didn't know about it.
Dude,
There you go.
Indy said, I heard you talking about me.
you have a toy.
Yeah, but I'm done playing with it now.
I know, exactly. He's like, Sherlock's nowhere around to throw the ball at, so. Okay, I'm going to look up that X-Files Chupacabra episode here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what episode it was.
Okay, so it aired in 1997. So
Okay.
if Chupacabra supposedly came about in Puerto Rico in 95, then
That would be, and that's when it like exploded. So that was about right. Yeah. Did you just blow on your cat's butt?
It's to get him out of the picture. He didn't like that.
Sorry,
It
I'm just
works.
yeah.
So yeah.
What other?
Oh, here's a picture of an animal with mange that looks kind of like the chupacabra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're giving you guys visuals this week, kind of.
Pretty much.
Because it's really like and that really is a lot like the ones that are often found, and like the ones like the lady with the frozen head. That's pretty much what it looked like, you know. So I'm like, maybe it is just, and maybe the mange makes them go crazy, and they just need blood.
I mean,
they're like, the mange messed me up.
Mike is
Mike is saying it too. I'm telling you, it was around.
Like I said,
was all like
Mandela effect.
Yeah, but I think we're the ones that are right and everybody else is wrong.
Exactly.
Probably.
But like, even when I look up Chupacabra episodes, okay, this is funny. Chupacabra from Unspookable, a children's podcast.
Actually, I totally forgot. A few years ago, I got my nephews this little book it was a kid's book about a chupacabra, and it had a really cute little chupacabra on the front.
Oh, Grimm did a Chupacabra episode. I remember that. That was a good one.
I don't remember that.
So it's the doctor, and he came back like infected with the Chupacabra, and he like it's a, for those of you who watch Grimm, like it's the, what are they called? Vessin. Yeah. So Vessin, it's a Vessin that they get infected and they turn into the Chupacabra if they're infected with this disease. And so he was a doctor who like went across borders and helped stuff out, and then he got infected with the disease that only came out with that specific type of Vessin.
Here's an episode I forgot about. The South Park episode Chupacabra. It was a Jewish Chupacabra.
Wow.
So he was kosher.
He was kosher. So he didn't suck on goats because they have those. He didn't suck on goats or pigs.
Oh my gosh.
Because neither of those is kosher.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Londa's like, I should rewatch Grimm. Yes. Oh, that's going to be okay. So I've done a whole Buffy thing. I've watched all of Buffy. I'm on Angel. I'm about to start the last season of Angel, and I think Grimm's going to be my next one. So, as everyone knows, my TV lineup now.
Yeah.
Mike says that they told stories about the goat sucker. Yep. Rachel says, I have gremlins in the machine who like to change my spelling. Exactly. You know what? Gremlins would make good chupacabras, actually.
Yeah.
I think they would.
Yeah. Mike says he has the whole Buffy and Angel season on DVD. Yes.
Yeah. A friend of mine did too, so I got to see them all and binge watched them a good 20 years ago.
Which, going back to the, where was it? The Gremlins on the Machine. So I actually started rewatching Sabrina too. And she talked about how familiars are actually gremlins or goblins. Oh, maybe they're goblins who change shape. Yeah. Okay. But that could be like, Chupacabra type thing.
Sure. I mean, you're right. This would be kind of a cool germ for a story. Krystal, when you were talking about the idea of Chupacabra being some sort of familiar beast or even alien that has, procreated with other life forms besides two-legged sentient ones that are on this planet.
Yeah, if aliens can procreate with humans, they might have another type of alien that can procreate with dogs.
In the movie Predators, which was a predator versus alien type without the alien, they were on another planet, and they had these little dogs. They were predator dogs, basically, and they were kind of Chupacabra-like as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they had the little on their head. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that this is standard Chupacabra.
I think it'd be more
drawing.
Because of the tongue.
What if there was a crossover between that and Men in Black idea, where all those aliens are actually...
Man, I was just listening to Men in Black today, too. It was awesome. Like the song Men in Black.
Oh my gosh.
But it's on my Halloween mix.
I can see that. I haven't heard that song in a really long time.
Ricky and I used to know the dance to it. And we performed it in front of our folks thinking that we were just awesome.
Well,
I mean, that's what kids do.
all three of us have performed in front of our parents.
Yeah. Mike, you have a good point right there. I think Jabba the Hutt had a Chupacabra on his leash next to Princess Leia. Like that little thing, that could be a little mini, like it's like if it was a Chihuahua Chupacabra,
Right.
Right?
Salacious Crumb, I believe is the name.
Monica and Rasta. Routine.
Those makers, they're like, do it. And they're all,
A Chihuahua Chupacabra sounds awesome.
Exactly.
Maybe Chihuahuas are the Chupacabra.
Maybe.
Have you seen some of them?
Yeah.
Especially with the ugly ones with the tongue hanging out and everything. Yeah. they're practically manged already.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, they do come from the same area, like Latin America.
Yeah.
From Chihuahua.
They all love Taco Bell.
They just suck the beef out of tacos.
Well, it's not really meat anyway, so I mean.
Londa goes, Chihuahuas are meaner.
I actually used to live next door to a really nice Chihuahua, and I was super surprised because I was like, oh, this Chihuahua is so friendly.
Well, Halo's best friend was a Chihuahua, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was there when she got to watch over video as that Chihuahua had, passed away and stuff.
Oh, gosh.
But it did affect her, so she knew who that person was.
Wow.
Who that Chihuahua was.
Wow. So our episode just took a dark turn.
Sorry.
I mean, I thought it got dark a little bit ago, but I think it just got more dark.
Yeah, we're a whole new level of darkness.
Well, his best friend died. Okay.
As you're about to watch my cats and I have a camera I can watch them on. So Krystal and I used to have a friend that we reference quite a bit as our special friend, that everyone has one of those in high school. She used to have a Chihuahua named Pork Chop. Huh?
That Chihuahua was mean.
Oh my gosh, it was. But one of the fun things that we would do is what I don't know, Krystal, if you were there, but I remember one time our friend had so many stuffed animals on her bed that I know.
Who was our friend? There's no quotes.
Yeah, she was our friend. There were so many stuffed animals on her bed that what we did one time was we got all the stuffed animals and put it around me. So it was just my face. We ET'd it pretty much and just made it look like my face sticking out. And we thoroughly confused this poor dog. Of course, we didn't realize at the time that it was blind and deaf and probably couldn't smell very well. But anyway, the dog had no clue I was there. And then I scared it. And that's my whole story.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Because there were years that this dog tormented us every time we slept over. And we couldn't get it to shut up. So.
Yeah, anytime you moved, that dog would start barking.
Oh my goodness. Thanks, Londa.
It was just it was such a buildup for, and then it got scared.
You know what? I had to get us out of Ricky's dark place, okay?
I'm sorry.
That's all I could come up with. Mike says, look at the little dog in Blade 3. That one. Wrestler had his pet. That was a Pomeranian.
Pomeranian, yep.
Yes. The little yippy dogs right there.
And that was top dog compared to the two Dobermans right next to it. Or one Doberman?
Yeah, because it was the two Dobermans and Ryan Reynolds was ooh, so scary. And then the little dog's and then it's all
Pomeranian.
Okay, so you guys saw Blade, like the little tongue that shoots out. That's from the Vampires and Strain, and that's what made me think of Ricky's Chupacabra with the little tonguey thing. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I think that that's like really common though, like in like horror and like sci-fi movies, where like a creature's tongue like does extra things, like eats you.
Well, starfish and stuff, it's not their tongue, but they'll stick their stomach into their prey and digest it and then back out.
I didn't know that. Starfish are so like, every time I find out something new about a starfish, I'm just like amazed.
Like you always, and then of course you go to SeaWorld and they're like, come touch the starfish. Like they're all innocent. And you're like, no, they're not. They're not innocent at all.
I mean, I don't think we're on their list of food, so it's probably fine.
I know.
If you get me anywhere that's water and I can pet things, that's where I will be.
Water and I can pet things.
I mean, a chameleon, for example, can shoot its tongue out, and their tongues are really long, like longer than a frog's. And
they like curl up.
It doesn't, like skewer, but it wraps it. Yeah. So
Chameleon tongues are cool.
Mike says, how about the skinless Doberman in Resident Evil?
Well, that's
like probably started as a Chupacabra.
That's what it turned into. They were really cool on the first Resident Evil, but I feel like after that, they were just like, they weren't a surprise anymore.
Yeah.
So all the ones that showed them afterwards, you were like, meh.
You're like, I've seen it.
At least Chupacabra are, would be considered living and stuff. The whole Resident Evil stuff, but then that hits towards zombies. And yeah.
But if they're vampires, but if Chupacabras are vampires, are they living?
Well, they're vampiric. And in this particular case, they're, probably using the nutrients in the same way that, vampire bats and such do.
As soon as I said that, I was like, wait, vampire bats are alive.
Vampire bites. Little vampire bites that you just eat them.
Now I feel like I really missed an opportunity because I didn't wear my vampire mouth earrings.
It's a vampit. Sorry, I'm thinking cheese it.
Yeah, I was like, I knew you were going.
Thanks.
Hello. Good morning.
Really?
Let's in joke that. Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't even know how to explain that. Unless anyone ever watched like the early 2000s Dane Cook stand-up episode.
I'm pretty sure you showed that to me.
Probably. Yeah.
Because you were like super obsessed with Dane Cook back then.
Not necessarily Dane Cook. I just liked all the stand-up stuff. And this was before Spotify where you could get like anything. And this was back with Napster where you had to type up and look and like be strategic about how you were going to find stuff. And I would find Adam Ferrara, Kevin James, Dane Cook, like all those comedians. And I would make like CDs out of them and make little comedy CDs. So
I still think I have some comedy CDs that you gave me.
Probably. Yeah. Probably. That I spent.
Like, you need to listen to this. And I was like, okay.
I spent nights. I poured my soul into that, Krystal.
They're like mixtapes.
I still have them 20 years later. Like, come on.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, obviously I wasn't saying anything negative about them.
But the question is, do you have anything to play them on? That's the question.
Yeah, my car still has a CD player.
Oh, hey, nice.
Yeah. Computer, maybe?
What?
The computer, maybe?
My computer doesn't have a CD drive.
The Blu-ray or the DVD player sometimes can play them.
Oh, I do have a DVD player. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I don't have I have Axel's PlayStation, and that's it. And then my computer's not a computer.
Play CDs.
What?
Can't PlayStations play CDs?
Maybe.
As long as they still actually use discs.
I think so.
I really don't know. I don't know. And then my computer's not actually, it's like not an iPad, but like a non-iPad. I don't know what it's called. I'm not,
desktop,
but I can attach a keyboard to it. Like
the tablet, right? Isn't your computer?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a little tablet. So yeah, I definitely can't do a CD on this thing. Chris, now I can't get it back on the.
Well, ask Indy. Maybe he can put it together for you.
Probably. I am so not tech savvy at all. I think Axel gave up on me on trying to figure that stuff out.
I mean, you have him around. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, except for tonight. He's at work. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my stand back up. There it is.
Oh, no! Quick, everybody to the left.
We should just do like a 5-minute episode of Bethany's chaotic moments of not being able to figure stuff out.
I think that would take more than 5 minutes.
Exactly. It's going to be screens falling over, Indy jumping up, Bethany's booty shorts. It's like, who knows?
Crystal's tongue.
Yeah, Krystal's tongue just randomly. And
Just
minerals.
And then we'll throw out a Chupacabra for good measure.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't realize there's like 7 comments. Okay, I'm so
I don't
sorry.
have the comments up on my screen because my face looks too washed out when I do. So
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to be monitoring them and I'm not doing a very good job. Okay. Let's see. Londa says I can't stand Dane Cook.
Yeah.
He's married. He's like married to someone who's in their 20s and you could tell he's had work done. It's crazy. Mike says Napster. Now you're showing your age.
Yeah, you know, it's because
she literally said that she's 40. Like,
yeah. I'm not hiding anything. Londa says, gosh, Krystal. I don't know what that's in reference to, but I feel like it can fill in a lot of areas.
yeah, I hear that a lot.
Mike remembers when Sony Walkman cassette player came out. I'm pretty sure we talked about that.
I don't remember when those came out, but I remember having one as a kid.
I remember having to call the radio DJ to be like, hey, I want to listen to this song. And then you had to like hold the boombox next to the other boombox to record it. And you had to like time it where the DJ was not talking.
Why did you? I'm like, my boombox, I could just like hit record on it. And it would record the radio.
Fancy pants. I didn't have that.
I'm like, my boombox wasn't fancy. It was like a $15 purple thing with a radio and a cassette player.
Okay, well, I like soundtracks. Okay, so I had to listen to movies and play the soundtrack.
I have always liked soundtracks.
We had a 3-in-1. It was a television set, a radio player and cassette player, and a VHS player, all in one big box. And
wow. Is that what Dad had in his garage?
Yeah, it was the screen was about 3x3 or so, and I would.
So it was like this huge thing with this tiny screen.
Well, okay, width wise, it was only about the size of the screen, and then up and down, and then it was wide, and then just deep enough to have a VHS player attached to it, and then I would use that to play movies and stuff and make audio tracks out of that, soundtracks.
Nice.
I like it.
Mike says, when I was in high school before the time of cell phones, we thought we were hot shit with it. We had a pager.
Yeah, pagers were like pretty much out by the time we were in high school. But I remember in like junior high, everybody had like those neon ones. I never had one. But I remember everybody was like the neon pagers.
Exactly. And I remember JJ, the king of beepers. It was
my gosh.
Just unlocked a core memory for Krystal right there. It was a radio. I don't know if he was anywhere else in the country, but in Tucson, Arizona, JJ, the king of beepers, was like huge and just on the radio. Nowhere else. I don't know what he looks like.
I wonder what he did after pagers went away.
Probably he just went into a depression because he literally had nothing else.
He became the Chupacabra.
Started selling ShamWow. Invested in Bitcoin,
Londa says, Mike, I can remember my first cassette tape from my Walkman, Tony Basil. There you go. And then Londa goes, gosh, Krystal again.
This is going to become a byline here.
Next time, instead of saying all the stuff underneath my name, we'll just be like, gosh.
like Goofy.
Gosh.
She's still cleaning herself. Are you not clean yet?
She's a dirty
baby. It's like, no.
I just gotta look.
Krystal, way to call me out.
This is luxurious. Bath bomb and everything.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Here,
Pop rocks. But
we'll
yeah.
just zoom right in again.
You can be the star of the show now, Olive.
Anytime we have technical difficulties, it'll just be a picture of Olive grooming herself from now.
I mean, maybe the reason that all these animals are getting attacked by the chupacabra is because they're not clean enough. So she's just trying to protect herself.
She is. She's like, I'm a nervous cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't really talk too much about the chupacabra.
I think we got some good chupacabra stuff in there.
We got some stuff in. Yes, we got some stuff.
Considering how short of a lifespan it's really had, there's not as much to pull from.
Yeah, I feel like we did pretty good with some filler right there.
I do think.
Gosh,
I like it.
You
like coming out of the flames of a campfire.
Exactly. Little goofy ears.
But I do think, I just really was to bring it back to the chupacabra a little bit. It is always fun to go down rabbit holes. Mm-hmm. But I really was surprised at I thought there would be more out there because it's just something I've always been aware of, my entire life. I've always been aware of, even if it wasn't called the chupacabra at the time, of there's a creature out there that sucks the blood from other animals, because those stories have been around the southwest of the United States and Latin America and Central America. They've been around for a long time. And so I think it really did surprise me at how little there was to research.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really, I think it's just been one of those things that's really been very orally passed around until very recently. So I was just oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's why when Krystal was like, yeah, let's do Chupacabra, I was like, I'm down. I freaking love the Chupacabra. And then we started researching and we're like, we have nothing. There's a few episodes and that's it.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
So it was definitely, I was like, okay. I'm and everything. Yeah, just, don't let your cats out because, it'll be eaten by a coyote or a chupacabra or an owl.
Yeah, or bit by a rattlesnake or stung by a scorpion or, all the fun stuff we have here in Arizona.
Olive got stung by a scorpion once. It wasn't fun.
Yeah. No. Ooh.
I got stung by that same scorpion that same day. It wasn't fun for either one of us.
Oh, gosh.
But my neighbor
scorpions off.
2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, well, I've had a full day. I met my quota.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quota because then my neighbor came and found it for me and it no longer survived after that day. So
Oh gosh, Krystal. Sorry.
I mean, I'm sorry, but it attacked me and my cat. I'm not sorry that it died.
I'm not sorry. I can.
This meat was okay, but not my cat.
I can do spiders. I can do all that. You show a scorpion in my house, and I'm moving. I can't.
So my old apartment, I lived there for
gators.
About 4 years. I lived there for about 4 years, and there was probably 3 to 4 scorpions there in the time frame. And there was the one that stung both me and Olive, and then I had I called them and the pest control came out, and then there was another one found a few days later that was big. It was this big, and it was just laying dead by my fireplace, but I was still too scared to touch it after just being stung. So my neighbor came and removed that one for me too. I had a really good neighbor there. And but the first scorpion I saw in that one, so I was laying in bed, it was 2:00 at night, and Olive and I were cuddling in bed, and she randomly freaked out, and I don't understand how she could have seen it, because if we were facing this way, the bathroom was over here, and the scorpion was in the bathroom, and it was on the wall, above the toilet, and there was like my body was blocking her, and plus the angle, it wouldn't have made sense. But she like, so we're laying there and she freaked the F out and like ended up, I still have a scar on my arm. She like drew blood. I had to cover my face. I had no idea what was going on. I was basically asleep when it happened. So just absolutely no clue. So I go into the bathroom and I'm cleaning the blood off of me. And then the scorpion starts crawling down the wall. So I freak out, run back to my bed. I was able to get into a position where I could watch it. And I called the guy I was dating at the time, who's always up super late at night because he works closing shifts at restaurants. The one night he decided to go to sleep early because I was like, you need to come over here and kill this scorpion. I don't care that you live 20 minutes away. So that didn't happen. And I watched it and it just crawled. And then when it got to like the top of the toilet tank, apparently its little legs couldn't cling to the porcelain. So it just slid right off.
Oh, goodness.
And of course, my lovely Arizona apartment decided to have floor the color of scorpions. I was like, oh my gosh, if I don't do something, it's going to sting my cats. It's going to sting me. So I went and I got my like hiking boot, and like Bethany can testify. I have like horrible arachnophobia, anything with 8 legs, spiders, scorpions, everything. So I was just like, I can't do this, but I was like, I have to protect my cats. And I got the thing and I was just like, ah! It was exactly like that.
New game instead of floor is lava.
Yeah. First scorpion I ever killed. I had to kill a couple more after that, but the one that stung me, my neighbor got rid of.
Ugh.
So, but yeah, so I killed at least 3 different scorpions in that apartment. I was super proud of myself. I was protecting my cats. Anyway.
Goodness. Yeah.
You totally off topic of chupacabras with that one.
But you know, well, I mean, yeah, there's no relation. Sorry.
No relation at all.
Well, what is this?
Arkansas has a chocolate tarantula.
A chocolate tarantula.
So I would actually try it.
He would.
Wait, so is this like actually like a tarantula covered in chocolate that people eat?
You've never seen those TikToks where they just like fry up tarantulas and do stuff and they're just like eat it?
No, I knew that there were places that eat tarantulas. There's places that eat scorpions as well. I didn't realize Arkansas had tarantulas and scorpions.
I don't know. All I know is Rick will eat anything I buy for him. I try to find the most crazy stuff, like most crazy gifts. I'm like, he won't eat this. He'll just think it's funny. And then he'll throw it away. And he will try it right there when he opens the box. He's like, yummy. And there's like cricket legs sticking out of his mouth. He's like, these are delicious. And I'm like, you are horrible.
I knew some people like that when I lived in Maryland, and my
Lasha says Texas would deep fry. Sorry. The one in Arkansas are not candy ones. They're not real. Mike says we have the smaller ones, which the smaller scorpions are actually the more dangerous ones. The big ones with the big pinchers, the reason why they have the big pinchers is their venom or
venom.
Their venom is not so strong. That's why they have the big pinchers. But like the smaller, like the bark scorpions that are like little tiny ones, they hurt like a mother lover. Yeah.
Yes, they do. They really do.
Yeah.
But you know the like scorpion lollipops?
Oh yeah.
I had a friend in Maryland that like I was going to Arizona to visit. And he was like, I've heard of like these scorpion lollipops. And I was like, yeah. He's like, can you bring them back? And then like, I was at this party, like we were all like playing Cards Against Humanity or something. Everybody was like, I want a scorpion lollipop. I had to buy like 6 scorpion lollipops to take back to Maryland. And they all like sat around eating them because they thought they were just like fascinated by it.
It's like when people buy tequila with scorpion in it. I'm like, why? I don't know. Well, anyway, tequila's to Chupacabra.
A drunk Chupacabra. There's a story.
I bet once somebody confirms Chupacabra, somebody will deep fry it.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, they would. I'll make like Chupacabra jerky.
Especially Texas.
Like jerky.
Probably tastes like Javelina.
You know, yeah, probably rough like that too, huh? But you can get in trouble in Tucson for shooting a javelina with a bow and arrow. Don't ask me how I know that, but
And
yeah.
yet,
Oh my gosh. Don't shoot javelinas. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know
Like,
that
don't
people-
feed them
Scorpion
pumpkin.
sucker.
They love pumpkin, and then shoot them with a bow and arrow. That's apparently bad. So anyway, today's October 4th. Our next episode, I think, is in 2 weeks, like October 18th, I believe.
Yeah.
Do you
Is that
want to
2 weeks
talk
from
about
today?
the movie? Huh?
That's 2 weeks from today.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the whole just livelihood of Halloween,
Yeah, let's do it.
like Michael Myers Halloween?
Mm-hmm. I knew
I
what you
think
meant.
that- yeah.
I don't know
okay,
if everybody else did, but
thanks.
I got you.
Although Ricky sent me a cool like D&D idea about Halloween and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in D&D, definitely reach out to Ricky. He knows everything and all about it, and he comes up with really cool ideas.
Thanks.
So I figure we can talk about that, and then we'll have our episode after Halloween,
Mhm.
and we'll talk about something, and then we'll do a holiday episode at some point. But we're going to do a hiatus from like November. I can't talk.
November.
I'm so tired. November through December, and then we'll start again in January. But we'll have a fun holiday episode that we'll talk about something. We just haven't figured that out yet.
And we'll let you guys know when it's going to be because it might not be on our normal night.
Yeah.
But we just figure everybody, like with so much travel and everything for the holidays, we'll just take a break for the holidays and come back in January. So
Well, and eventually you have to start doing season 2. So we have to have a break to do a season 2.
like season 2 can't start if season 1 never ends.
Exactly. We're like the longest running season 1.
It'll be a spin-off. It'll be a spin-off season.
Exactly.
Angel.
Mike's all, who travels? I do. I'm going on
I'm going to be traveling way too much next year. I still don't know how I'm going to afford it.
You got this. You got this. I believe in you.
Yeah. I mean, good thing that my work is like, hey, work all the overtime possible.
That's really cool.
I mean, if I didn't, I would never get my job done. So
Yeah. Alan, I'm sorry to break it to you, but we are ending the show.
thanks for joining though.
1 hour off.
Like go back on YouTube and rewind. And then you'll be caught up with nothing Chupacabra related.
No, I think we did do Chupacabra
We did.
at least for the first half hour.
Yeah.
And then we've had like 50 minutes of
Us.
rabbit holes.
Scorpion suckers to goat suckers.
But you know what? I feel like that's our thing. We're like, hey, here's our topic. Let's talk 20 minutes on it. And the rest is just, meh. Exactly.
Pretty much how our normal conversations go.
He's all, okay, cool. Bye, guys. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for Blondes, Books, and Campfire Tales. And Ricky, thank you, Rick, for joining us again. I was like 10 minutes before. I'm like, hey, you want to hop on? He's like, sure. But yeah, we'll talk about the trilogy, or not the trilogy. It's like the whole series, like the world.
Yeah, it's a whole franchise.
Yeah,
Whole
there's like
franchise.
multiple trilogies in there.
Yeah.
Mike says, remember to smile. Definitely check out Mike's messages that he posts every morning. He tags Krystal Knight in them. So if you guys follow us on Facebook, definitely check him out because he does have very good uplifting messages that he posts every single day. So I do appreciate that, Mike. Those are good messages.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us. We talked kind of about the Chupacabra as much as we could because we discovered it didn't come out until 95. So not a lot of backstory.
Chupacabra's been around forever. We just didn't know about it until
according to the Mandela effect. So thank you for joining us tonight. We will see you guys in 2 weeks when we talk about the history of Halloween, Michael Myers, and all that fun stuff. Ricky, you're welcome to join us if you are able to. We'll love to have you. And we will see you guys next time.